It was June of 2020. I was home with my family in upstate New York, taking spring term classes remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. While many people around us were adopting pandemic pets, my family's dog of 12 years, Ben, our only pet, passed away. After spending every day with him at home for the few preceding months, we were devastated and missed his company and cuddly demeanor. A few months passed, and I returned home in November 2020 after spending the fall term back at Dartmouth. My family agreed that our home felt empty without Ben around. We missed having a dog. My mom raised the idea of getting a new dog, but my brother and dad weren't as sure. However, my mom and I identified a local dog rescue organization. We spent a few weeks applying for dogs to adopt, and finally had an appointment to meet with a Schnauzer mix named Buddy at the end of December. Buddy needed a home, so we quickly decided to adopt him, even though we missed our old dog, Ben. My dad and brother weren't sure they were ready to fall in love with a new dog, but agreed to give Buddy a chance. Buddy adapted to our home quickly. We did notice that he would attempt to eat bizarre items like rocks when we walked him. He was once a stray dog and was used to scavenging for food. One day, just 2 weeks after Buddy moved into our home, my brother was taking out the garbage. He left the garbage bag on our counter, not expecting it would be a problem since he would return to bring it outside in just a moment. But by the time my brother walked back a minute later, our 14-pound small dog had jumped 4 feet into the air, knocked the garbage onto the floor, and had potentially begun eating it. The bag contained onions, which are deadly to dogs, so we were worried about whether he had ate anything. However, he seemed fine, and we had no proof that he had done more than sniff around the food remains on the floor. We decided to keep a close eye on him, just to make sure he was okay. The next afternoon, Buddy still seemed like he was doing fine. I was sitting upstairs with him and decided to go downstairs to the kitchen to get a snack. Normally, Buddy would follow me around because he was still adjusting to our house and didn't like being alone, and he also knew the food was downstairs. I thought it was strange that Buddy didn't come with me. I worried something was wrong. When I came back upstairs, he suddenly was quite sick. When Buddy tried to stand up, he collapsed on the ground and couldn't get up. We rushed him to the emergency animal hospital, hoping we'd make it in time. When we arrived, the animal hospital was quite worried. They gave us no assurances. Buddy had definitely been poisoned by something he had eaten and would need intensive treatment. It would take 48 hours to know whether or not Buddy was in the clear. After 2 long days of anxiously waiting for the hospital to call, the phone finally rang. They said, "Buddy is doing well and ready to go home." We rushed over to pick up Buddy. Since it was during COVID, we hadn't been able to go inside to pick him up or to visit him throughout his stay. From the parking lot, we called the animal hospital on speakerphone and said, "We're here to pick up Buddy." To our shock and horror, they said, "We will bring out his ashes in a minute." My mother screamed. To make matters worse, as we sat in the parking lot, we saw a family leaving the animal hospital in tears, hugging a dog tie, and carrying an empty leash. We would similarly be devastated to lose another dog so soon. At this point, I intervened and pleaded to the disembodied voice on the speakerphone. I said, "Wait, there must be a mistake. You called and told us to come pick up Buddy, that he was doing well and ready to come home." There was a brief pause, and then the speaker said, "Oh, that Buddy Appenzeller. Yes, we will bring him right out. He's recovered nicely." And in a matter of minutes, our cuddly Buddy was in our arms, squealing with joy, and so were we. This experience was a good reminder to make the most of every moment and to not take anything in life for granted. We spent the first few weeks with Buddy worrying if we had made the right decision, rather than appreciating the wonderful, kind-hearted dog he was, and we were determined to never take him for granted again.